Hey y'all, this your girl Lisa. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday. It has been a long time, but here I am. I would like to apologize for my sporadic nature online, but I just been going through stuff and I didn't want to put it on y'all. But I decided to come live at the request of DC because I hadn't been doing it and she's been carrying the bulk of DC Kool-Aid and Lisa because that's who she is. And so I'm going to try to pick up and bounce in and out. But I got a topic today. And it's a topic that hit me the other day. Well, it hit me today. It hit me today because baby told me a story. I don't know who it was about, but she told me the story about something a parent did to a child, to their kid. And it wasn't violent or anything. It wasn't anything violent. It wasn't that like that. Um, it didn't it disappointed me. I was about to say it pissed me off, and then I was about to say it broke my heart, but it didn't do either one of those. It disappointed me. And then it made me realize that, hey y'all, did anybody coming in, anybody in the bushes? I'm just on here until I run out of steam. I hope people come in. If not, y'all to see this in the replay and it'd be cool, you know what I'm saying? But I just had to get this off my chest as a parent and as a grandparent. I forget I'm a grandparent sometimes, y'all. So I have to throw that in there. Hence the title. Baby tell me, she don't tell me to hold off before I start talking, but I just can't see here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go on and talk. And if anybody wanna know and comes in, ask questions or wants updates, the reality of what I'm talking about is your kids don't owe you shit. Now I couldn't put that in the title, and I'm not gonna continuously curse, but that's what I meant when I said it. Hey Magdalene, how you doing? I said what I meant. I said what I said, as they say. Um, your kids don't owe you shit. And here's the thing, your girl, girl watches TikTok, and I've gotten into the Reddit stories. If nobody knows those, some of them are real, some of them are AI generated stories about people going to Reddit boards and posting. Normally, it's bad stuff. It's never really good stuff. Sometimes it's just ironic, but sometimes it's bad. But most of it has to do with how parents and siblings treat each other. And most of it has to do with at least one parent. I don't want to say being mean, but I can't think of another word. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I ain't got my glass. Let me put my glass on because I can't see nobody. Hold on. Hey, just reading my book. Hey, Magdalene. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Don't, oh, your kids don't owe you anything. I hear over and over again, I had you, I clothed you, I fed you, I put a roof over your head. Or what about all those after school activities, and what about all those lessons, and what about your college, and what about the ride I gave you to the damn prom or whatever. I hear all these things that people are talking about their kids. I see people not being excited for their kids, and I see children who become successful or famous. Case in point, Shaquille O'Neal. Daddy wasn't in the picture. And I remember this back when Shaq came out, and how his real father wasn't in the picture. And how it wasn't until Shaq became Shaq. It wasn't until Shaquille O'Neal became Shaq that all of a sudden he was important to his father, which happens with a lot of absentee parents, not just fathers, but this happens to be the parent that was absent in Shaq's life. And I'm using him as an example of coming back later on, assuming that because you donated some sperm or donated an egg and a womb, that now the child that you grew owes you something. Let me tell you what let me tell you the very first thing a child did not do as to be born. Look here, just my book. As somebody who, if I laugh just 1 second too hard, I pee on myself a little bit, and I have back spasm. Yes, does my child owe me back? Oh yeah, and I did. Now before I always been a big girl, but before Nick came along, I didn't had a little bottom stomach. He went on and did that for me. He went on and knocked out the rest of my fine. However, again, that was not him. He didn't do that. I did that. I had him. I grew him. I had him. These were my choices. My son, the choice. Let me tell you, when my son started making choices. I don't know that day because it ain't came yet. Because at some point, I've had an influence on his choices. Me and DC, because she's been with Nick. He is for over more than half his life since he was 8. Me and DC been together. What year is this? 13 years. 12, almost 13 years. Nick about to be 21 this year. So I influence him. The killing part is he ain't made a decision 100% on his own, except for with the money money he makes. And I want to say something, and I want to have something to do. It's their fault. Why? I give you that one. I give you that one. But unless now, hear me out. Hear me out. The only way your child could bring back all that stuff. My memory been so bad, but I could put that on other things. So I ain't just gonna put that on. I ain't just gonna put the memories on Nick. But I mean, I will say this. Hold on. I'm lying. No, because he was still influenced at some part from us to go in the military because we gave him the options and we let him pursue. Here's the thing. We laughing and joking, and I'm not talking about parents who say I made the mistake when Nick before when he was a toddler to say I wish my baby could talk and tell me all the things that he's thinking. See, I did that. They didn't do that. I made that wish, and then I had to listen to you too. Now he wasn't even too good. I had to listen to a 2-year-old babble at me for 4 hours at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So this is still my fault, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about those things because yes, as let me tell you something. And I'm gonna say this, and it might piss off some people. And when people say that, I be like, they don't mean that, but I do. I don't care. Real parents do not think their children owe them anything. My child, Nick, don't owe me shit. He don't owe me nothing. He don't owe me anything. He does not owe me his first paycheck, which he had since he was 16. He does not owe me anything. But it's not just that. It's the things that come along with that thought process. Parents who watch their children do. I don't even know how to go about my thought process because I hear parents talk about all the things I did for you, but you did those for you. You did. I cycled through damn near every sport. Nick ain't never wanted to play nothing that has to do with baseball or softball or tennis. He ain't never wanted to, hit no ball with no stick. He did think about lacrosse for a second, but that's more scooping the ball up and throwing it. But still, I'm trying to figure out that little ball coming to his face with him not being able to see good. So I'm glad he ain't go too far into that. But I digress. I cycled through sports until he found basketball. Now, had he not wanted to play it, I would have been cool with it. Had he wanted to play it and pursue that as a career in life, I would have been cool with that. because all the things that as much as my mother loved me, only thing our children always respect and make sure, yeah. Even then, let me tell you, okay, all jokes aside, y'all. That's funny. All right, so we was talking about something one day, and this Nick just having me on the phone, and we were talking about kids not wanting to take care of their parents when they get old, right? And I don't know, it got into being like changing, and like how the old adage is, you know what I'm talking about. And I told Nick, I said, don't do that. I said, don't stop your life to change my diapers, to move my tubes, to give me my medicine. He said, no, I ain't gonna do that. He said, but I am gonna pay somebody else to do it. I said, I said, you know what? I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad. And I don't know. It's like it's crazy. I told him, I see. He said, oh no, he said I can't do that. I ain't never wanted to be a caregiver. He said, oh, but I am gonna pay for it. I said, oh well. No, they don't owe us it. Nick said, let me tell you something. My son is not even 21. And as y'all know, I'm disabled. And while I will be maneuvering better moving forward, I'm never going to be 100%. My baby took it upon himself to say, you know what, mama, I think that because you're disabled, I can get you. He was, going through the stuff. And this is his thought process because I gave space to be him, and he don't owe me nothing. He was like, I said something about, oh, I'm about to be broke this month because I had a big bill, you know. And I was like, oh, we about to eat ramen. Somebody was joking with DC because I'm not single. So I ain't never all the way broke. And I ain't gonna break my wife. So I ain't never all the way broke. But anyway, so I said something about being broke. And he said, Mama, you ain't gotta be broke. Just I seen some money. I was like, for what, boy? He was like, and I'm sitting up there going, and the only thing, hey, Miss Bootsy, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to get back into the you know, being with y'all and going live and doing that stuff. I'm trying to get back. I haven't been in a good headspace. I made it a video, and baby got to get it edited and do whatever. And it's just the beginning. I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to get on a journey. I don't know what the journey is, but I figure just let me start here. There you go. Um, So, and if it take me a minute to say something back, y'all, what's happening is that I look at the chat and I get throwed off. So I be trying not to look, talk, then look. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's going. But baby told me something earlier today, and it pissed me because it was how a parent reacted to a child getting uh, uh, a boost in life, and they didn't want the child to do it. And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why would you do that? But it's like I don't understand when we stop wanting our kids to have more than we had, when we stop wanting our children to be better off than we were, when we stop wanting a better world and a better outcome for our kids. When did that happen? Why the hell do I constantly hear parents and not even old people? Because understand, if you go by the generations, I am a Gen X. I'm not a boomer. That's my parents. I'm Gen X, and then whatever they come after that, I don't know. But when did it's like we went up to Gen Z or X Gen? I don't know what the hell we at. Anyway, but I'm Gen X. And when do we stop wanting our children to exceed us in every way possible? When did that happen? Because let me tell you something. I was raised by somebody born in 1926. I'm gonna leave that right there. And I was born 4 years later. I was raised by somebody who went through the Great Depression, somebody who had to leave school when they were a child to help because they had so many siblings, because they had nothing else, nowhere else to go. I was raised on 3 channels, an encyclopedia, no internet, and a phone with a cord. When did we, but I still did not want my child to feel any of that. When did we stop wanting our kids to have everything that is possible for them? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, let me see. I'll just make sure. When did we stop that? When did we stop wanting our kids? I wanted I wanted Nick to experience everything, the bad and the good, because the reality is life is just not going to throw my kid good stuff. Life is just not going to sprinkle down rainbows and unicorns on my baby. No, they're going to drop acid and fire and tacks and nails and bullets. He in the army. So bullets, bombs, grenades, they're going to drop everything on my kid. So me sending him out there with just California wishes and caviar dreams is stupid. But I wanted him to have California wishes and caviar dreams. When did we stop wanting our kids to have everything? When did we? My Nick is not my retirement plan. I know my baby ear just burning. He's not my retirement plan. He is a decision I made. He is a series of serious decisions I made. Not one of those decisions was his. Now watch, y'all know I watch. Like I said, listen to the Reddit stories on TikTok, and then I look at TikTok, and then I see story after story of I don't want my. And these are young people. These are young people in their 20s talking like they 80 years old, grew up in the deep Bible Belt, Jim Crow South, talking about pulling shit up by their bootstraps, and I had to walk a mile up gravel in the snow, barefoot in the sunshine. What the hell? These is kids in their 20s who didn't know that phones came on cords, who have no idea what a cassette tape is, who don't know where to put a VHS tape. But these are the same kids that sound like somebody Bible Belt. What? Pull it up by the bootstraps. I had to get it in the mud, so my kid got to get it in the mud. Bitch, we get in the mud so our kids ain't got to get in the mud. We get in the mud so our kids can skate. We get in the mud so our kids can never know that mud exists. Hold on, I'm trying to look at the thing. Hold on. Okay, I just wanted somebody to say something. I hear it over and over again. There's a girl doing she does a skit on there talking about how her mama. It's a skit, but I mean, I'm sure she's drawing it. I think she's drawing it from her real life. The mom is on a. She doesn't want that for herself. As soon as she get a job, now she got to buy food. But they eat up the food. But you need to put the food in the house. But now, oh, you got your big job. You can't leave, that's reality. Why do we have kids if we don't want them to be the best versions of our imaginations, of our dreams that we have for them? Can I physically, monetarily provide Nick with every dream I have for him? No. I was not independently wealthy and in a situation where his father was independently wealthy so that we could just do what the hell ever we wanted, whenever we wanted. But I gave him the ability to dream untethered, to not hold back on those dreams. And my baby is very dry. Make no mistake about it. He is a 75-year-old man, and I'm just waiting for the first day for him to get in and say, "Get off my lawn, kids." However, if that's his dream, then do it. Your kids don't owe you shit. Nick started working when he 16, 15. He wanted his own money. I didn't stop providing for him because he got a job. I I didn't stop buying his shoes and his clothes because he got a job. I didn't stop buying his snacks and groceries and shit because he got a job. I didn't stop giving him multiple Christmas presents because he got big. Can stop him from going trick or treating. Hell, he could have went trick or treating right before he went out there. I don't care. I didn't do that because that's my kid, and everything, every silly, funny, dreamy thing he want to do it, and he don't have to pay me back for it. And 20-year-old got a lot to learn about parenting life, right? But thank you, Miss Boosie. But here's the thing: I don't understand where they got it from. I didn't get. Let me tell you something. My mom beat my ass. Yes. She had, and she was, I'm 5, I've been 5'4", 5, I was 5'4" in high school. My growth spurt hit and then I stuck. I was there. I was done. I was 5'5", 5 3/4 something now. Well, I'm 5'4" and 3. I'm something. Anyway, I'm short. But my mom was short. My mom wasn't even 5 feet tall. So I've been heavy my whole life. She been little. Not like crackhead little, but she just little black lady. And she was raised on ass whoopings. So that's what she gave out. Her thing was get your education, which I didn't finish my degree. But I did another thing. I got every piece of information that I could ever put in my hands and in my head. I did it. Every book, every encyclopedia, I did it. I didn't want my son to be, he already is a black man in America. Hold on. My 3 started working out of high school. Only one went to college, but they doing well. Right. Well, see, my thing is this. My mama harped on college so much. I don't know if that's why I didn't really want to go, but I hate school. I hate hearing people talk to me like in that setting, like in a school setting, like that droning professor, Charlie Brown, wah, 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 talk. I hate that. Give me a book, give me a computer screen, and let me read it, let me do the test, let me go on. I'm still going to learn it, but I don't want to hear you tell it to me. I don't know what that is. And it made my high school career very iffy at best. Not my academic career because my IQ is amazing. However, my sit down and listen to folks is atrocious. And in school, that's all you got. But I know that as a black man in America, you need to be educated on some level. You need some type of education. And that's what I wanted. I told him, I said, look, you're going to do what you need to do. You find something you love to do. You'll never work a day in your life, but you need to be able to take care of yourself when I can't. You need to be able to take care of yourself when I'm gone. But I also instilled in him, stay young as long as you can. Because I'm going to tell you something. Adulthood comes on you, and then all of a sudden, you got a mortgage, a car note, 2 kids, and a wife that want to bust you in the eye. Yesterday, you was chilling, calling everybody bro, playing on your computer, shooting at people. I mean, he in the military. Next thing you know, you're going to wake up with a mortgage, a bald spot, 2 kids don't like you, and a man cave that your wife can't come in. So I want him to be young and a kid as much as possible. Go see adventure. His grandfather went in the Army. My mom was a Marine. My grandfather and my uncle were in the Army. I told Nick, I said, you don't have to go in the military. You can go to trade school. Learn how to do something. He ain't never want to do nothing with his hands. I don't know. He didn't want to do that. I told him, I said, try school. And that's what he did. DC said, get a job. That's what he did. He fulfilled his size of his contract with us. Get a job, go to school. He did both of those things. He still was working. Even after he went to school, he's a school one for him right then. He'd already been in school for 12 years. Well, 13 if you include kindergarten. He'd been in school for 13 years. And then us rushing our kids right back to school after they get out of forced school is where a lot of kids where thousands of kids mess up and never go back because they're forced to do something that they don't really want to do at that particular time. So he worked for a year. He went to school and realized that ain't where he want to be at right now. He decided to go in the army. Come back and he like, I enlisted in the what? And then I'm like, oh man, my baby going to the army. But then I was like, that's what I wanted. I wanted him to be himself, to be independent, but realize that as long as there's breath in my mouth and a quarter in my bank account, my child is taken care of to the best of my abilities, even if he a grown ass man. It is not his job. It feels like his job because, I mean, it is sort of his job to do what I tell him to do, but it's not his job. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's being a parent is crazy. It's like being a psycho. It's like being a psycho. Because no, are you supposed to do everything I tell you to do? Hell yeah. Are you supposed to not do stuff that I tell you to do? Yes, as well. Are you supposed to come down and take trash out? Absolutely. Are you supposed to get that out from under the bed because I can't get down on the floor and run around it? Yep. Are you supposed to let me know when you coming in and let me know when you going and let me know you are so I won't be worried? Yep. Are you supposed to bring me your first paycheck? No. Are you supposed to pay my bills? No. Is cable bill supposed to be in your name? No. No. Your kids don't owe you nothing. Stop doing that. If your baby want to play football, don't mess with his dreams because I don't even know what the answer to that would be. Mom, I got a scholarship. No, you don't. What I sound like? That sounded retarded coming out of my mouth just now. Nick told me, him and this is before he went into the military. He told me and his friend, I forget which one he was going to, wanted to go backpacking through Europe. You know, old school. We're gonna go to Europe and we just gonna go. 20 years old, healthy young man with a little bit of work experience, bartender server. He can always get a job. Bye. Save your money up. I'll help you with what I can. We'll get you that passport. We'll get you gone. Because I wanted him to experience that. I want him to go to HBCU. Just because it was the time I was there, even though I didn't graduate, it was an experience that I don't regret, and I fully wanted him to have. He didn't want to go to school. Maybe when he get out, but go pay for it. Boom, off the table. Let's go. He don't. Your kid. Listen, and I know this is not people who feel like the children are not the prize and the parent is the prize. My words are not going to change them. My words are not going to fix that because I don't even know what that is to be fixed. These are for the people who ain't got kids yet. Folks like us who got pissed off about that. No, I'm just playing. And people on the fence about whether or not they should allow their children these types of grace. I'm going to tell you like I tell people about cheating. Cheating on your spouse or your significant other is a series of calculated, I don't know. I hardly ask my grown kids for anything. I always try to get it myself. I don't want to be that parent. I always in their child pocket. I can't raise. I was better. And I'm always helping them. Right. Nick has his money and I let Nick spend his money however he want to spend his money. He know he got to keep his phone on. Nick has one rule, one steadfast, hard and true rule that changes for nothing and nobody. And that rule is come home. You make it home by any means necessary. Let me say that again. My baby at the end of the day, I was watching something um about something about a school and did something to their kid, and I'm trying to figure out why they not fight. I, my baby, I told him that's what it was. I told him, I said, don't start none, but make sure you finish all of them. And if people got anything to say, tell them your mama being there. Like my mama coming, cause I called her too. Cause see, that's the thing about that's when you realize that you did better with your kids than you realize that you did is when you talk to them when they're adults and getting into adulthood and they talk to you not like you they mama, but like you they home. I'm trying to explain because he still talk to me like I'm his mama, but I think he forget because of the relationship, and he'll talk to me about stuff and he'll say stuff, and I'm like in my head, I don't say it out loud because I don't want to stop him from ever feeling like he can't communicate something with me because maybe it'll be one day where something is something he has me, you know, he feels like he can't because you know what I'm saying. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's just for some reason my words are all jumbled up. So he was talking to me and he said something in my head. I went, did he mean to say that shit to me? And he kept going. And I was like, okay, I guess so. That's what I want. That's the goal. That's what I'm looking for. My kid to be so comfortable with me, knowing that there's no judgment here. There's unconditional love, and that's it. I'm gonna tell y'all some good stuff. I just thought about it as I was trying to figure out what I would do for my kid if he needed me to do it. Let me tell y'all some good stuff. Hey, baby daddy. Hey, daddy. That's my baby daddy, y'all. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out the links I would go for my kid, and the going to jail. That's a given. You know, like that thing they had. I don't know whether it was on Facebook, but I saw it on Facebook and TikTok. They were asking different mothers whether they would kill for their child, and then you had the first set of mothers going no, and then you had the middle mothers going depends, and then you had the me's going absolutely I'd kill for yours. I know that, but I was sitting up there trying to illustrate in my head how the links I would go to for my kid. So here's what my head came up with. So y'all can understand. First, I'm gonna look crazy. Second, of the links I would go to for my kid, I am 58 years old, fat and disabled. I would roll up to a stripper pole in my wheelchair with a sparkly sequin bikini on and a G-string that goes up my wide ass. Put up on that pole and flip around if my baby needed the money for me to do that. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? There's no shame in my game. Make no mistake about it. I'd be selling feet pictures on OnlyFans. And they'd be like, why? My kid need what is it? Baby need a new pair of shoes. Hey, Journey on the go-go. Hey y'all. Your children are absolutely, positively not your retirement plan. They're not your retirement plan. They are not your ATM. They are not your bank of baby. They are your kid. They are a living, breathing, heart beating representation of you. They are not what you look forward to when you broke. They are not your punching bag for what you didn't do when you was in high school, in college. They are not the reason you are not the president of the United States. Okay, it burns my whole booty cheek, and it's a lot of booty cheek when parents get talking about I didn't get to do this because I had a kid. I didn't get to do this. I didn't get. You got pregnant at 8, 16, 17. The baby didn't make you pregnant. You did that. So if you got pregnant and didn't finish school or didn't get your GED, that's on you. That kid didn't do that. I would have been a great football player, basketball slash pick a sport. Add that, and it's some parent, some daddy, some mama somewhere sitting up there talking about right now, right at this second, there's a parent somewhere telling that bullshit ass lie to their friends, and they friends are the same parents as listen to that bullshit lie and then agreeing with them, talking about I didn't get to do this because I wasn't. I would have been a movie star if I hadn't got pregnant. I would have been a football star if I hadn't got pregnant. I would have had this degree and that if I had. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell you some good shit. For every parent that says that, there's a parent that got pregnant at 14, graduated from high school, graduated from college, graduated from law school, and carried their baby with them the whole way. So please tell me you didn't do that because of that. You wasn't gonna do that without a kid. Kid didn't stop you. I don't have no money because of my kids. Them your kids. What you thought was gonna happen? You thought you was gonna get pregnant and the baby just gonna be there and then it wasn't gonna need nothing? Hi. See, look, they just come in saying, hey. Do you want to see this? I see that. You have a it is a very light blue. Yeah. That's my grandbaby. That's mine. You're gonna give it to me? Yeah. You don't want it anymore? Yeah. And you say yeah? No. No. You just did some blue like me. Okay. There you go. You want it back? Now your tongue can be keep your tongue blue. All right. Hold on. Yes, we saw our bars on it. Oh, you got Pole. You know what? You know what? Let's go. Not you. You won't know. I don't know, Gigi. I don't. Ooh, get that on the file. Get it. Cause I go get put it on the table because it'll fall right there. We don't want it to waste because it'll stain. Because I was trying to figure out. All parents say, "I'll kill for my kid. I'll die for my kid." But I was trying to give an example of what I would do for Nick if he needed it and I could do it. I said, "You must not have been listening," because I said. I would roll up to a stripper pole, pull up on it in my sequin G string. That's why you sent me $4. That's why you sent me $5. Keep me out the pole. Oh, hold on, y'all. DC is dropping the same wings tonight in that air fryer. Can I get a plate? No, she not. No, she not cooking tonight. That was Sunday dinner. I think we out of it. I think we get new dinner tonight. Who's that? Huh? Who's that? Say it, son. Miss Boosie and Can I Read My Book? Just read my book. Not Can I Read My Book? I can't even read the right. Yeah, that right up. But no, I was sitting up there thinking, like I said, baby told me something earlier, and I'm not talking about that because I don't want to get in that. However, it sparks in me that people don't realize. But it's not just that. It's the amount of young people, young parents out here talking about. There was a guy. There was and people record everything they do nowadays. So, yeah. So there was a young man who was recorded talking about how I think his girlfriend or baby mama or wife was recording him talking about how he treats their kids and the things their kids do. And I don't know what she said to spark it, but he's talking about, I got it in the mud. My kids gonna get it in the mud. Why they gotta have more than I had? I'm sitting there going, but that's the goal, ain't it? That's the goal for our children not to have to deal with the things that we dealt with. Nick did not have to deal with having to look up something in a book. Nick been on the computer since he was Penelope's age. He didn't have to go look up. He didn't know where he didn't even know where to get an encyclopedia at. Why do I didn't walk up a hill barefoot in the snow in 300-degree weather to get to school. Why would I want my kid to have to deal with that? No, it's just it cut. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? And I listen to parent after parent, or and it goes along with the thing with our young women, with our young women being shamed and our young men being allowed to run amok. That goes with that. It goes with I watched a true crime of a girl hanging out with her godmother and dying because the godmother, left that little girl with a guy she'd been knowing less than a week. Women who say their daughters are lying because their boyfriend slash husband slash daddies are touching them, and we have to hide that. We have to hide that. We have to protect dad slash husband slash boyfriend because the little girl fast. That goes along with the little girl fast. That goes along with men coming over to the house, she got to put clothes on. This is what I'm saying. These are these small things that people don't pay attention to that you want to get rid of. Me growing up with a son, me having a son, I didn't have to go through certain things that my daughter's going to have to go through raising her daughter. But that's the same thing I'm talking about. That goes along with the kids don't owe you anything. Everything. You're supposed to be the end and the beginning for your kid. I don't need no police because I know my mama is pulling up. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell my mama because the last dude did the same thing. I told her and she said I was lying. Not parents dressing their babies like grown-ups and adults and trying to figure out why they talking to them like that's their homeboy. The stuff you should be giving your kid, you keep to yourself, and the stuff they don't need right now because they a kid, you give it out freely. I don't know, y'all. I'm looking down. Hey, Phyllis. Hey. Hey, y'all. Hey. The stuff our kids should have. When Nick was young, I worked at Walmart. For anybody who's ever worked at Walmart, understand and know your girl made $7.20 an hour. I made 5 cents under minimum wage when I worked at Walmart. Sure did. I would work 5 days a week, get paid every other week. My check wouldn't be more than $400-500. But I figured it out. He know mama wasn't dad at Warbucks, but mama made sure he was fed, he was taken care of, and his toy box stayed full. He worked at Walmart to get everything on clean. I made it so that he didn't just have tangible things that he could put his hands on. He had other things that are so much harder to come by. There's a level of craziness that comes along with being a parent because your heart is walking around outside of your body. It is. Your heart, your spirit, your soul, your everything is walking around outside of your body when you have a kid. And yeah, money comes and goes, but there is so much intangible things that is so hard to come by that your kids gotta have from the time that they are conceived. That is unconditional, unwavering, undeniable love and affection. Do you know how many children right now are not at peace? And what the hell is more peaceful than being a child? You got children that don't know where their next meal coming from. You got children parenting their siblings because they mom and dad, their mama or their daddies keep having baby after baby after baby, but can't take care of the first one they had. You got kids having to go to the library to do their homework because they lights and water off because their mom and them would rather go buy other stuff than to make sure that the basic necessities are taken care of. You got children that do not know peace. And do you know what that does to children who are children for a very short period of time and adults a lot longer? I gave Nick peace. I gave him as much stability as I had. At some point, I gave him the best step daddy in the world. But at the end of the day, my kid knows that he can call me at 5 o'clock in the morning. And as long as I know he's safe, he know he got somewhere to come home to. Wherever I am, however old I am, however old he is, there will never be a day that he will knock on my door and be judged for having to come home because home is always with him. I owed him that. That's how we grow. That's how it happens. Hold on. I don't know. I'm stuck. Baby, am I on there? But my kids went to school every day. Yep, yep. I worked, we survived, no name brand shoe, but they still made I can't see. Something is going on. Hold on. Oh, that's shit. No, but my thing is stuck. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, I got it. Something was stuck. Survive, no, yep. It's we give them that because I'm gonna tell you something. Before I had Nick, I didn't, and before I made the decision, I didn't want to have kids. That was the first thing you think of. I want to be in a position, a financial position, to take care of my kids. That's what I thought. I still think that way. But my brilliant mistake is my greatest joy. But no, I wasn't in the financial place that I would have been if it was ideal and I could just pluck a baby out the air and be pregnant like a stork gonna drop him off on the porch. No. But I made it a point that whatever I had to do to stay with him and to make sure he is good, that's what I did because I owe him that. He owes me, you know what your kids owe you? To be happy, to be able to laugh and to cry in front of you without judgment, to be able to have a bad day and know that you're gonna make them their favorite snack, or know that you just sit and listen to them talk about it. That's what your kids owe you. But you don't want to make them. You don't want to give them the tools to do that. And if you're not giving your kids the tools to do that, what do you think you're doing? What are we? I would like for anybody to tell me what we're accomplishing by making our children act like it's 1945 and they don't have any options, like the internet. What get me is what I don't understand is this: We have worked for hundreds of years to be different than the generation before. Starting from the time they stole this land and then stole us and brought us here. We have been every era, every generation, every century, every millennia is for people being better than the last. So why do I constantly hear about people talking about taking it back? Don't nobody want to go back to pre-computer, cell phone, pre-TV channel, pre when everybody was dying. What my grandmama had 6 kids by the time she was 21. That's because she had to. That's because her daddy gave her to some 45-year-old man that lived next door and had already knocked up 2 other 12-year-olds. So to make sure the daddy had money, baby married this old ass man who knocked her up every time she wasn't pregnant no more. Your grandmama wish she would have did now. I want somebody to go talk to their grandmama, great grandmama, and ask her to be truthful. Don't lie. Ain't nobody here but you and me. Would you have done it if you was now? Would your grandmama have 12 kids before she was 25 if she was born now? Would your mama have stayed with your daddy if she was born now? And watch both of them say, hell no. Times change. We're supposed to change. We're supposed to get. These kids ain't supposed to be doing the stuff we did. They supposed to be doing the stuff they made. It boggles my mind every time I hear somebody say that. Every time it blows my mind when somebody old says it, but it damn near decapitates me when somebody young says it. I don't get it. Hold on, here we go. Right, but it didn't always work out like that. I had to get up and take care of my kids. Yeah, I left them, the father raising kids help. I agree. Our children should feel that we are a safe zone. That's what I'm saying. Let me tell you something. There's no perfection in the world, and it's not perfection in how you raise your kids, and because every situation is different. Because parents deal with their own demons. Parents have their own upbringing and their own here, Jax. Parents have all these things that we have to deal with on top of being parents. On top of being parents. But the thing you have to come to terms with is that your actions and reactions define your child. And when time goes on and you look at this kid that you had and this kid that you made, are you going to like the definition? That's the thing. Are you going to ball your... Mm-mm. I know. Are you going to like the definition that you gave? Because you're just, you are why your kid is the way it is. No amount of stuff on TV, no amount of stuff on TV can influence your kid if your kid knows from the giddy up what's right, what's wrong, and what's real. So if you looking at your, I can say I raised mine to respect. If you meet them, you get respect. Absolutely. Absolutely, Miss Lucy. Absolutely. I am not one of those that think because you old, you automatically should get respect, because that's not reality. Because respect is reciprocal. You get what you get. I didn't teach Nick sharing. All right, I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. You buy your child whatever. I'm gonna use Switch because that's I just happen to think of that. You buy your kid a Switch, right? And your kid takes the Switch with him wherever he goes. And because you taught him to share, and that you have to, if somebody asks for it, you have to let them have it. Your your $300 Switch is now in little Timmy hands, and little Timmy said, "Well, he gave it to me." I ain't never teach Nick to share. I taught him to be respectful, but I also taught him to say no. I ain't never teach Nick to just hug somebody. Don't touch my baby. I don't care who it is. If I don't hug you, he not gonna hug you. And even if I do hug you, I know you. He don't. I hate when relatives that ain't never met my baby just come up and think they can just rub. I don't know where you been. Ugh. But I did teach him to be respectful. Anybody who's ever met Nick would not believe what I just said came out of my mouth. Because I didn't teach him to be mean and vindictive and a bully. I taught him the world. You're young. I taught him the way things go. And most of this stuff I can't repeat to you because it was online and in the situation. I never, don't, I'm not the kind of parent or person for that matter. I forgot my train of thought just went away. Y'all never had that? Y'all never had that? Y'all got one specific train of thought, and then all of a sudden it leaves your whole head. Now he owed me that. He owed me them brain cells he took away when I was pregnant. But since he can't get them back to me, it's a moot point. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking at the chat. Let's see. All right. All right. What was I about to say, baby? DC is not helping at all. Babe, you say something while I'm trying to think of what I was saying.
It's not my turn.
What you not your turn? I didn't say it was your turn. Anyway, I'm stuck. Anyway, y'all, we was talking about kids. Hold on, let me see if somebody says something. Maybe hold on. Oh, thank you so much, Phyllis. I appreciate that because I swear sometimes I'm like, my train, it's just not coming and going. My train of thought fell off the wagon. It was gone. I don't know where it went. I couldn't even tell you what I was talking about. Ugh. We was talking about our kids and then them not owing us anything. They don't. And now, and I'd say this, boy moms get a bad rep because a lot of boy moms act like they son is they man. Stop doing that. That's not your man. He's not the head of the house. He's not the man. He's not taking his father, baby daddy, spermed on a place. He's your kid. Period. Point blank. In a discussion. That's all he is. He is not a substitute. He's not a sub. Your kids. And here's nothing. Your kids are not a substitute love. Y'all hear me? Might be preaching in a second. Thank you so much, Phyllis. I'm gonna start preaching for a second. Your children are not substitute love. If you can't get a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a friend, if you can't do either of those things, your child is not a substitute for your romantic love. That is not that is not a weight that your children should ever have to bear for you. Your children are not your babysitters. I'm gonna say it one more time. I knew upon having Nick that I did not know whether or not I did not. No, I knew I didn't want no more. Not just because I was almost 38, almost 40 years old when I got pregnant with him, but just because, and it was it was a plethora of things. But again, it's financial, my age, um, a lot of stuff. But also because I felt that if I had more kids, then it would be harder for me to take care of the ones I had. Not just financially, but just children are an emotional roller coaster. They are a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, permanent lifetime job that you cannot give back. And there is so much bandwidth you need to take care of your child that I applaud anybody who has more than three. Because I know your house must look like a daycare. That being said, your children's job is not to parent your children. I have watched over and over and over and over again with people, not just people who don't have finances. I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about people who got money. Case in point, somebody asked Nick Cannon to name all of his children. He could not. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen 10, 15 years from now, because the internet is forever and people love to talk shit and bully kids. Somebody's going to tell his kids, you know, your dad didn't even know your name. I bet you right now, if you were to ask him, what doctor your kids go to, he couldn't tell you. What's this one's favorite color? He probably couldn't tell you, especially if he don't live in the house with them. I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about the emotions and the spirit needed to raise a kid. You cut that short every time you add one, especially. I knew a girl that had a baby to keep a man. Every time he was gonna leave, she got pregnant. Oh, blessed it, Jesus. Blessed assurance. DC said, DC said she would have fainted. She said, "Oh Jesus." And let me tell you something. And it sounds, and I'm sure it sounds bad to people who got a bunch of kids. Your children are not that bad. If you can't take care of all your kids, don't have them. I'm not saying don't have them. I'm saying if you can't take care of them, don't have them. You have children who can't, you got older children who can't have extracurricular activities. One, because you ain't got the money, because you didn't think this thing through. Because while I have said on many occasions, you need to have the emotions and the spirit to have a kid, and money will find a way. But yeah, just basic money will find a way. Your kid can't take piano lessons because they want to play piano. Your kid can't take dance lessons. They can't play football because they got to stay at home and babysit these other 4 kids you had that you don't take care of. Your children are not your babysitters. You want my tongue blue? Ah, Slurpee. Hold on. I, for the life of me, don't understand that concept. Now, if your kid want to babysit, get paid for it, cool. If you gonna get your kid to babysit for their siblings, pay them, cool. But that's not their job. Y'all remember when, not Magic Nanny, what was it? You remember that show with the nanny from Britain used to go up in the houses and teach parents how to take care of their kids? Nanny. I think it was called a nanny. She's had on several of her shows. She had parents of multiple kids, and the daughters. Let me say that. Well, no, I was one with a son, but most of the daughters got up, couldn't have extracurricular activities, couldn't do anything extra at school. Period. Not just sports or arts. Nothing. Couldn't stay late after school because they had to get their other kids, their other siblings off the bus or on the bus, depending upon where they went to school at. Get home, cook dinner, get they siblings' homework together. They couldn't even do their homework. They can't do anything because they mom and daddy say it's their job. No, the hell it's not. It's not. Your children don't owe you free babysitting. They don't owe you money. They don't owe you anything but their love. Their love. Shit, that's all your kids owe you. What's only if you love them in the your kids just don't owe you no fresh, huh? Nah. Cause he get me told off. Yes, I remember that show. Yeah. Hold on. Cause school will break you if you're if there are more than child on it. Yes. I mean the parents were saying that shit out loud. If they weren't even stuttering or holding it. You love me. You love me. That's special. Anyway, it was show after show. I right now Google children taking care of their siblings and see how many videos just on YouTube pop up. I'm gonna sit upstairs. Okay. Parents saying out their mouth, it's their job. They owe us. This is what they supposed to do. That's family. I wish people stop throwing that damn word around. It's family. Family. Y'all don't know what the fuck a family is? Excuse me. Family ain't 30 kids and 29 of them taking care and two of them taking care of the 29 you had. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Miss Bootsy. Yeah, that's worse than 11. Yeah, it's a good topic. 3 is worse than 11. I'm trying to figure out how we did 1, and they still alive. They still alive. Huh? I don't know. Oh no, I don't think Nick almost died yet. I'm sure it's.
Oh yes, he did.
Well, that wasn't dying.
He almost witnessed death.
That's what you get. That's what you get. Now that is also a form of love. That's also a form of love. Knowing that we'll be here when you get home. But you got to do what you got to do. Hold on. An hour? No. It is not. It's just not your kid's job, y'all. It's not your kid's job. And we can have all the they're taking so and the killing part, they're taking so much away from our children now that they're trying to take away labor laws that keep children from working. They're taking away schools, they're taking away education, they're taking away curriculums. Young children of color all over the country are going through Hispanic and children from other countries are worried about whether or not they're gonna go home to an empty house because they done took their parents. You got ICE coming up in schools taking kids out. You got teachers running slave auctions as a form of quote unquote education. Children are just, we are their only, as parents, I'm not talking about the world, because what we give them, what we teach them, and how we send them out in the world is on us. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I think I was talking to baby. I don't know. I might be talking to y'all. Like I said, my mind be wandering. I don't. You teach. I taught Nick the bad and the good. I think it was y'all I was talking to. So it's the bad and the good. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Without a strong foundation, all the whoopings and the life lessons, quote unquote, and the pulling them up by the bootstraps and get it in the mud and get it how you live it and I did so you can or you owe me, I'm your mom, I brought you in the world, and all that shit don't matter if you ain't gave your baby a foundation to stand on. None of that matters. Because let me tell you something. Every parent that has put their child down even a small amount. Every parent who has compared their child to one of their classmates or to somebody they seen on the internet or on the TV, that's sand on their foundation. Any parent that has told a child no, not because they couldn't afford it, not because they didn't think the child was good at it, but because they didn't have it. Sand. Every time you made a child a cheerleader or a football player because that's what you didn't get a chance to do, not giving a shit about what they want to do, that's sand. Every time their child knew it was better to bypass you and go upstairs in their room and talk to their friends or find some stranger on the computer because they know they couldn't come tell you nothing, that's sand. You can't build a foundation on sand because it shifts, it moves, it cracks. And before you know it, it's a sinkhole where your kid used to be at. As a parent, you're not ever going to be perfect. Never, not ever, never, ever, never, not. But you be perfect for that kid. Because that's your kid. That's your kid. You had that. That's your DNA. Them are your quirks and your traditions and that's your stuff. There's nobody more perfectly suited for your kid than you. And if you fail at that, that's on you. That's not on the kid. And I am an adult. And there are things that I can attribute to my parents. But as an adult, I have to take responsibility. But my parents are the person that put that foundation in place. My mama built that foundation brick by brick by herself. And there are nights that I have regrets. And I never said I would have, but it's all due to her. My mama ain't never felt like I owe her shit. And she was back from the days, you know what I'm saying? I was well and grown, and she was still doing for me because that was her job in her mind. Nick is grown. He ain't well and grown. He's still grown. He grownish. He kind of grown. But it's gonna be my job. It's my job. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking. Thank you, Miss Boosie. Amen. Taking everything. That's my job. You know what I'm saying? That's your job. Loving a kid is easy. If you don't, here's the thing, and here's another thing. I'm gonna flip it on this side and get away from the kids. And for 1 second, I'm gonna go here. And I'm just talking to the ladies right now because at this particular moment in science, only people with uteruses can have kids. So I'm gonna talk to all the people with uteruses. You ain't gotta have no kids if you don't want to. You do not have to be somebody's mama / daddy / nothing if you don't want to be. Do not let society, do not let your family, do not let old school dictate how you live your life in the future. And if we taught our young ladies, our young women this early, if you want to teach your child to be a wife, teach them to be a doctor, a lawyer, or Indian chief at the same time. I said Indian chief, my bad. I meant, you know what I mean? Teach at the same time and let her choose her fork in the road, her left, her right. If you don't want to have any kids, don't. Somebody put a post up. Now I'm going for the young men. It does not say anything about your manliness for you not to be somebody daddy. If you don't ever want to have kids, don't. But also, don't leave baby mamas out there because you think it's cool, because she got it. I ain't ready to settle down yet. I ain't ready for no kids. You know how many ain't ready for no kids, babies out there? Lisa, you sound like my mother. She always told me, if you have kids, you're responsible. You are. You are. You're not their grandparents, not their auntie and uncle, and damn sure not their siblings. Now, that being said, it takes a village and everybody raised the kid because that's just how it is. But at the end of the day, you get to say, you set the rules and regulations, and it is you that is responsible for the upbringing of your children. End of discussion. Period. Point blank. There's nothing else. You are responsible for your kids. That being said, if you don't want to be responsible for children, don't have them. I don't understand. See, a lot of things I just don't understand because I was thinking that by the time I got to be in my almost 60s, that all this shit would be different and that we wouldn't be, and there wouldn't be a pressure to be a mama, or there wouldn't be a pressure to be a daddy. It would be a pressure to have all these things that now as times change, we see that women can do so much more than be somebody's mama, than pop out babies. And that shit should be applauded. But it hasn't. I see article after video after news after documentary of young 16, 17-year-old. I was watching Say Yes to the Dress, and there was a 17-year-old girl on there buying her dress. First of all, get out. You ain't old enough. Get out. I couldn't have no store like that because I'd be like, man, I'm about to call CPS. Why is this child getting married? I enjoy doing things with my adult children because it warms my heart. Yeah, they do things for me even when I tell them it's not necessary because you raised your kids right. Miss Phyllis, because you raised them right. That's why. Because they don't have to do it. They want to. Because it's my mama. That's my mama. When I first started working and didn't have no bills, my mama needed a dryer. I bought her a dryer. We needed a hot water heater. I bought a hot water heater. Did she have money? Yeah, but she didn't have a whole lot to spare. Single parent, living on disability, not disability, being on retirement. So I did what I was, because it's my mama. Shit. Hold on. I was not, Nick just got old enough to do stuff with. And by the time he got old enough to do stuff with, he went in the military, so he gone. But I experienced that with Brittany, going out and doing stuff with her before she became a wife and a mother herself. Our kids, the kids that come out of this house, just these two that come out of this house. I'm not talking about my grandbaby, because I ain't her mama. I don't run nothing there. Now when she's down here and we doing and we doing uh GMA daycare, that's different. And still I acquiesce to her mom upstairs because I'm not her mom. Are we a fallback plan in case something happen? Absolutely. My grandbaby will never miss a step. This grandbaby and any to come. But my kids, my grown-up kids, them still my kids. I see kids. I don't see no grown-ups. I know they grown. That's not the point. Go on, Miss Bootsy. I used to wonder, because I had Nick when I was 37. So I used to wonder, almost 38. So I used to wonder what it would be like if I'd had Nick when I was 20, 21. Because right now he would be, how old am I? He would be 30. I don't even know how old I am, y'all. I am 58. So he would be, if I'd had him when I was 21, so he'd be like 36, 37. Right? I don't feel like adding. So we just gonna go there. Go on, Miss Boots. Sometimes I wonder what would be different if I had him when I was younger. Because I really wasn't in the mindset of kids. My grandmother was not, my mama wasn't in the mindset of me having no kids when I was young. Being a nurse, my mother and father, they were nurses back in the third, or not 30, how old am I? Back in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the early 60s. That's, you know what I'm saying? And my mama saw a lot of stuff. And my mama, as soon as my period came on and she got to telling me about stuff, now she didn't really give me any sexual education, no sex ed. But she did tell me two things. Keep your drawers up and your dress down, and everybody in this house will be happy. That's one. And two, I'll take you to the clinic if you need me to. So she was never one of those have kids, have kids, have kids, because she ain't have to. But I always wondered what it'd be like if he was an adult. We kind of grew up together. But I'm thinking this is what was meant to happen. I didn't have no kids. If I didn't have no kids, all right, Miss Phyllis. We be singing happy birthday in September. I didn't have any kids. I don't know what I was just living. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just thinking about, before I got pregnant with Nick, I was just, living day to day, me and my family working regular jobs, just doing, you know what I'm saying? I would have still been doing that. I probably would have, I don't know, I might have went to school earlier, might have went on to finish that degree. Because that's really what my mama wanted. I think that would have been the one thing that I would have done. But then I became a mama and other things became important. He became more important than that. And it has been and sometimes I look at him in awe. It has been my honor to watch him grow up. Has it been perfect? Absolutely not. Has he been hurt? He has, because he hasn't been in my sight 24 hours a day, 7 days a week since he been born. So yeah. But is he a good kid? Absolutely. Am I proud of him? More and more every day. I don't know. I don't know. Our children are a blessing, because not everybody gets to do it. Doctors told me I wasn't gonna be able to do it. So Nick is a blessing. And that's my baby. And I just look at him sometimes and I try to see the future I had in my head for him. And I realize now that I look at him that all the things I thought or all the things I envisioned, they were just him. Because all I really envisioned was my kid doing whatever he wanted, going as far as he wanted to go, ups, downs, ins, outs, falling in love, falling out of love, getting your heart broken, your first this, your last that. That's all I wanted. And he's doing that. And I can't be prouder of that. I think that's why it pisses me off when I hear parents stifling their children in any way. He said he wanted to do music. We got him a keyboard. I encourage that because his mama sings. And you be proud when your babies do stuff that you do. But if he ain't want to be a singer, don't be a singer. I never was like, you should be a doctor. You should be a lawyer. You should be this. You should be that. I'm always, you should be you. That's who you should be. So, yeah. He was talking about his new, hold on. Lisa, I'm finna make a run to Walmart. Enjoy the talk. Love you. Love you too. All right. I love Walmart too. Go ahead. I love a good Walmart one. Walmart and Dollar General. Y'all know it'd be some good stuff in Dollar General. There's some good stuff in Dollar General. Yeah, speaking of Dollar General, okay, I don't know if y'all follow it, but y'all should look up on TikTok. There are creators on there that show you how to coupon at places like Walgreens, CVS, and Dollar General. If you like places like that and you have the apps, go in there and do it because I'm telling you, as soon as I get mobile again, all right, I'll let her know. As soon as I'm out there and about there, it's gonna be about that life. Cause I love me some Dollar General. Understand that. I understand this ain't got nothing to do with the topic that we talking about. But y'all do know I'll jump around. I might have a little touch of ADHD or DDA or I don't know what it's called. No, because I can sit and do I can sit and do one thing for hours. So it's not attention. What is it? I don't know, but I might have it. And all right, and I'm okay with that. But anyway, I love Dollar General. You can get everything you need for anything in Dollar General. But he said I had bought clothes from Dollar General before because it was a cute little outfit when Nick was little and he was little. So and it was a little outfit. So I bought it. But baby, I wouldn't buy no clothes from there because clothes be stiff as hell. Baby, they got a paper cut off of shorts. So I don't want to do that. But I love Dollar General. I like odd places. I like Dollar General, like places like Burlington, Dollar General, Ross, because you go into big places, like even including Walmart. You go in there for specific items, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get this. But then you go to places like Ross and Burlington, you'll see stuff you never thought about getting because maybe it was a store you don't go into or a little high end store or whatever, and it's there. You're like, oh, I could wear because we were still doing knit clothes for school and stuff. I don't know if anybody is in the DMV. There's a place called Foreman Mills. And Foreman Mills, I don't know how to describe Foreman Mills. It is like it's like the swap meet in a store. And there was another place. I don't even know that we record that video, but one year we were going to get Nick some clothes, and I think this is called D&M. I don't know what this place was called. But anyway, they have a lot of clothes, like more urban clothes, like the jeans and things like that. The young people like. I find myself saying stuff like my mama. I was telling DC about that the other day. I was like, I say stuff like my mom, and I'm like, when did I get that old? But then I realized I am that old. Anyway, so we were going in there to get his school wardrobe because we always started off with a big purchase. A lot of times that's the money from his birthday or something, but more than 9 times out of 10, I let him add his little money to it. But it was just like, my baby needs these, so we got to get them anyway. So we went in there to the store, and he was trying on these jeans. Now I'm not, and they look bigger. So let me start by saying that. But they was I like the way they look. You know what I'm saying? So so he's in there trying the pants on, and oh, those look good. You know, me and DC out there because we took him out there, and we're like, they gonna look good. They're gonna look good. He don't like them. How my baby gets stuck in the jeans? They had to cut him out the jeans. This is it's stories like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not big, earth shattering achievements. It's us doing school shopping and my baby trying on some pants because the place we went to was like an hour or so away, and they didn't have branches. Like if I'd have bought it, like if y'all send me something from wherever y'all from, and I got to take it back to Walmart, I can take it back to our Walmart. It wasn't that kind of thing. So we wanted to make sure his clothes fit. Hey Tina, we doing good. So it's memories like that fulfill everything your kid owes you. I'm gonna say it like that. It's the memory of my baby getting stuck in some jeans and having to get cut out because once he got them on, he couldn't get his foot out of them because that's a big feet when he was young. And we just sitting there laughing and trying not to laugh at my baby. He trying not to laugh, but he frustrated because the pants stuck. But then it's funny because he stuck. And then we in the public. It was just. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what the kids owe you. Those kind of memories. His graduation, the prom, and all that stuff. Yeah, but it's him getting dressed for Halloween to go to school. So he got dressed as Drake. Me sitting up there painting his face, painting him a beard and sideburns and putting on his outfit because we got, I forget where we got the stuff from. And he went out dressed as Drake, looking like Drake. Yep. It's hit or miss, but I like Foreman Mills. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but y'all remember them long white tees they used to wear? Oh, remember my white tee? But they had them in all colors, and I used to get them to sleep in and play with me. If they still got them on, get some more. They like the extra long t-shirts. Yeah. No, you can't buy everything from there. But yeah, I like Foreman Mills. But anyway, I forget what it was. I was talking about the boy. Something about the boy. Anyway, but that's what your kids owe you. Those things. Oh yeah, dressing up as Drake for that's what I got pictures right now of him doing little moves and the stuff, and I'm like, and him coming back home with all the candy wasted. That's what that's my payment. That's my charge for my kid. Um, he has a picture, and one day I'm gonna post it. But there's a picture of him, a group photo, and because his sister gonna find him. Trust me when I tell you. She might not have been there at birth, but she damn sure gonna be there at death. Y'all can play with her little brother if you want to. She gonna find him. So she found him in the group photo of the picture. Because I was looking. Because back when he was in that ain't what he was in. Back when he was in basic training, they would, we got on the page with the other families and we was watching, they were posting pictures. And I kept trying to find him in the pictures and I could never find him. And she found him. And I took the picture and I cropped him, just him, because I have the full picture, but we cropped him in that part. And then I turned it black and white. He looks just like his grandfather. That's what he owed me. That's it. He don't owe me nothing else. He didn't cause this. I did. I got pregnant. Let me do it in direct order. I had sex. I got pregnant. I stayed pregnant. I went through labor and delivery. He didn't do none of that. None of it. That was all me. So how does he owe me something for he didn't do? Don't worry, I'll wait. And this go with all the kids. Every time you look at your child thinking that their upbringing had a price, their education had a price, the extracurriculars had a price. That's your problem, not theirs. It is. I don't know. I look at I look around and I wish for so much better. I just hope for more for our kids. Not just mine, but all our kids, our grandkids. I want parents. I want us to be better. If you don't want to be a parent, don't have no kids because some man say he love you, because your mama say she want grandkids, because you're because you can. Shit.
I'm laughing at the stuff pants. I'm like, she giving that.
They because no, it because people when people think of they I'm talking, but they didn't hear when people think of memories for their kids, they always pop to the big memories. You know what I'm saying? The big birthdays, graduations, weddings, grandbabies being born. That's the big things you pop to. But you don't, I like the little stuff. Like Nick dressing up like Drake and being candy wasted when y'all came back. Or did I go? No, y'all went. Did I go?
No, remember, no, you can go back to the first one.
I ain't going back there. That was bad. That was bad. My baby looking like Wolverine. Got one piece of candy. They had to go by East because where we lived at, nobody wasn't doing it. At the time I lived in a high rise and they wasn't doing that. And I walked over to another building where I knew kids were and they still weren't doing it. I knocked on like 20 doors. Nobody opened. I went to the 21st door. I got one piece of candy, took my baby home, and then I went the next day and bought all of the Halloween candy. I ain't care. He was still gonna get Halloween candy. But that was his last bag of Halloween. But like I'm saying, but that's the point. Those are the things. Those are the memories.
Move Jacks.
You know what I mean? Baby, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Them pants getting stuck on my baby leg. I'm like, what is going on? But I look back on Nick. I look back on him and I can count on one hand the amount of times I have been upset, sad, or disappointed. Because everything else he was doing to grow up, that's my kid. You know what I'm saying? Everything else he was doing was to grow up. His mistakes, his getting in trouble. Hell, I might be able to count it on one finger because I know that to go from a child to a young adult to an adult, that is a long, arduous process that is 100% unique for each and every individual person on this earth. And nobody can really, really know. Nobody can really, really know the experience your kids are going through. Even if you went through similar experiences, you didn't go through your kids' experience. It doesn't matter what you did in high school because your kid, my son can't have the same experiences I had in high school. One, because high school for me was a different time. Two, I'm a girl. So we weren't going to have the same experience. The only thing I wanted for him was not to have a bad one. With him? I don't know. I'm sure. I'm sure he done did stuff.
That's just like me and Ricky took Ricky and they went to that party. They said back there, right? They were like, "Don't go."
Or when I was in the kitchen one night, when we were still in the other apartment, and I don't think he knew I was in the kitchen. I know he didn't know, because he was up there lighting them up. And I just went, because at one point Nick had his room was a loft, had a pony wall, so he could hear when we were out in the living room in the kitchen area. So he was up there playing his game and lighting their ass up. Da 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 da. He didn't say fuck, but he said the other cuss words like damn and shit. You know what I'm saying? But he was saying them correctly, which I was proud of, because if you gonna say them right. But I had to let him know we hear it. I was like, he was like, oh, mom, sorry. Boy, I know you can cuss. Just, well, you weren't talking to me. Now, had he been talking to me, y'all would have heard a whole different set of commotion out there. Now, don't get it twisted. That's my baby. And I think he got spanked twice by me, but in his whole lifetime. But don't talk reckless to me. Nobody can talk reckless to me. Can't nobody talk reckless to me. And that includes him. I think he said something off the wall twice where I had to go, who the fuck you talking to? Because absolutely, for some reason that, I don't know. My mom said that I just have, my temper is something. I forget what she said, but I had a really bad temper and I can't control it, because I will go from being like I'm talking to y'all now. Somebody will say something and nobody else in the whole wide world, it would irk but me. And then I'm changing everything I say. I'm through talking. I'm hanging up, I'm cutting off, and I'm sitting over there. That includes my rugrat. But I think only twice he said something out the why, because I don't know who the fuck are you talking to, the boy? No, just that one time. No. We ain't never had to go to school. Uh, uh-uh. No, we ain't never had to beat nobody up. Uh-uh. Hold on. Let me look. Oh, we don't have any whatchamacallits. I need to delete the comments. Somebody put on Trump in my comments. Somebody put no. Who is shooting that? You heard me? Who is shooting that? Who is shooting that? I'm trying not to say it loud. Who is shooting that?
I make sure the battery dead.
Oh, but the other key is on my whatchamacallit. The one of the backups is on my keychain. I say that drawer out every messed up. You can't find yours. But yeah, that's those memories and me looking back and him being able to bring me joy at any moment at any time of the day. That's all he owed me. And that's all your kids owe you. If your kid asks for some money to take lessons, it's your job. If your kid needed some shoes, that's your job. I didn't have the money to send just Nick straight to school, but I made sure that he got what he needed. And if I had to take out a loan to do it, I would have. I absolutely would have. Your kids don't owe you anything, y'all. I love and live. He is just fine. Yes. Oh, see, baby, that's why I need you. Your kids ain't your little friends. We spend their entire childhood. We spend our entire childhood telling our children, I ain't your little friend. Their whole childhood. As soon as they can talk good, that's the first thing they say. When they say something a little crazy, a little off the wall, first thing we say out our mouth, I ain't your little friends. I don't know who you talking to. But as soon as, okay. And then we turn right around and act like that's your best friend in the world. That's not your friend. That's my child. I don't care if he's 700 years old and I am 700 and how old when I had him? 738. He's still my child.
Expectations for the child to they raising them. That's how they end up being that parent, the expectations of the kid.
I expect him to take the trash out when he home.
That's
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. That's yeah. No, friend. I don't have no.
but he be your friend sometimes. I gotta catch
No, I mean, I don't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It sounds like he my friend, but that's not my friend. I'm telling him information that I need him to know in a way that he can accept it. I'm not telling him like I'm his mama. I'm telling him like this the shit you need to know. Your school, college, and high school is not gonna teach you 90% of this stuff. They got the education. I got the other stuff. That's another thing we need to get. Your school, your child's school is not the only place they're supposed to learn at. And if your child is scared to learn with you, then it's you the problem. At the end of the day, you the problem. Let me just say that. At the end of the day, parents, you the problem. You got to turn it on.
I tell him like 5:30.
He about to make up for it now, boy. Hold on. Make sure anybody saying nothing. Hold on, let me put my phone on charge. About to go off. Okay. All right. Sorry, y'all. Had to put my phone on charge. No, they're not your little friends. They're not your own boy. That's your child. Now she said, now I do like I told her, don't physically discipline it. And if I got an issue with what he doing, I tell him. Because what's the point of me getting mad? What's the point of me getting upset? What's the point of me cussing him out? What's the point of me showing out on him? Because it's not going to get the desired results. Because if you're anything like me, I'm going to ignore you. Mama, daddy, auntie, cousin, uncle. If you talk to me off the wall, and if I feel like it's off the wall, I don't hear anything you say. That's just it is what it is. And that I would talk to him in a way that he received what I'm saying. Because there is so much information that our children do not learn in school. And it's our job to tell them. But I will say this. I'm going to say this because I said it somewhere, and I'm going to reiterate it to parents nowadays. Your children have to learn how to fail. You propping them up, you taking away their adversity, you running interference for them is not setting them up for reality. And teachers, it's their job to teach Monday through Friday, from 7:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. That's it. If you don't respond to their emails, that's on you. If you don't go to the parent-teacher conferences, that's on you. If your child is failing and you don't know why, that's on you. But children need to learn that. Teachers can't fail kids or somebody gonna sue them. Teachers can't discipline kids or somebody gonna sue them. But when teachers doing, it just, kids need to learn how to fail. Kids need to be flunked again. Teachers need to be able to flunk kids, discipline them appropriately. and tell them no without being scared. And that's why y'all mad at the teachers, but y'all don't want them to do nothing. I just, I'm kind of all over the place because, like I said, I'm trying to get back into coming live and doing my lives again. And I want to give y'all good stuff when I talk. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, baby told me something earlier today that threw me when it comes to parents and their kids because I just don't understand how your child is not your, you know. I look at him and all I see is my baby. I look at him and I want him to be the little baby that I had. You know what I'm saying? But he's not. But he doesn't owe me anything. And I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So I'm going to end this live. And then I'm going to think of other stuff to talk about later on. And then maybe I'll come back and do it again. Maybe something will pique my interest. Your kids don't owe you nothing, y'all. For everybody that's coming in now. Oh, hold on. My 3 grandchildren are my extra joys. They are my extra bonus. My granddaughter told me last weekend that I was the best grandmother in the world in my heart. Yes. Them grandbabies will take you up out of here. Won't they?
All the way out.
Them grandbabies would. Oh, Lord. Baby. That's true though. That's true though. That's true though. I ain't gonna lie. Every time we look at something, every time we go on Amazon or Walmart or something,
I get packages.
oh, she is too. And she talking about she got to go get her package from the door just to let y'all know what goes on over here. Her parents up there talking about, you supposed to wait till Christmas. No, we not. Y'all supposed to wait till Christmas. We the grandparents. We supposed to wait till the money run out. That's what we wait. The money gone. I guess we got to wait till next. Why you ain't get it? I'm going to get it tomorrow. Because she just does stuff. She came in, hey, with her little Slurpee. You want some? Your tongue. Here, your tongue should be blue. Why should it be blue? That means I ain't breathing right. But like I said, I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to try to think of something else to come back with. Baby will give me something. All right, baby, I'm sure she will tell me. But like I said, I'm going to try to do this more often again and try to get back in the swing of things. I got a video that she's got to edit. It's not a long video, but she got to edit it because Jax was in the chair and doing stuff, and I had to holler at him. So, in the middle of the video. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, for commenting, for listening to my words. If I touch one person, if I made one person think for a second, then I have done my job. I appreciate y'all, the Bomb Squad. Y'all are the best squad in the land. I don't know what I would do without y'all. So make sure y'all like this video. If you haven't already liked that, hit that like button for me. Thank you. Comment down below. Bad, good, or indifferent. We'll figure it out. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video, go live, you can join us because baby, we'll go live at the spur of the moment. And I want y'all to be there. What's next for you, babe? All right. No, I meant what's next? What's the next video? You got anything coming up? That's what I was trying to say. Okay. All right. So, all right. So it's summertime. So it's vlogs and shorts and, living our hot best life. So y'all have a great day. Stay out the sun. Stay hydrated. Take your meds and know that everything's going to be okay. If it ain't okay, it ain't over. Thank you guys. And I'm out. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm still here. Hold on. Oh, I told them put it. If y'all got any comments that y'all want me to talk about anything like that, could y'all put it in the chat for me or put it in the comments down below when the video gets posted? Give me things to talk about. Let me know what people want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And this your girl Lisa. And I'm out.
Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Fuck this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Yeah. Oh shit, they don't let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war, every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions. Make it right every wrong, and I'm back with a vengeance. I show you the ropes. Peace in my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they